Today's lesson from Unit 3.2, Part 2 is all about writing equations of lines. If you recall from Algebra 1, the standard form for the equation of a line is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are all integers. Another form in which we can write the equation of a line is slope-intercept form, and this one is probably the one with which you're the most familiar. It's y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Now, I wrote it as 0, comma b because the x value would be 0 and then you'd have your y-intercept. Another way in which we can write the equation of a line is point-slope form, where m is the slope and x1, comma y1 is a point on the line. This is used most often to help us write the final equation of a line in slope-intercept form. So we're going to take a look at a few examples, and we're going to talk about two different methods for writing the equation of a line. And the goal is to get it in slope-intercept form. Okay, so on the left-hand side, I'm going to take and write the equation of this line just by using the slope and the y-intercept. So your first step, you're going to take and find the slope. Okay, so for our slope, we want to take and do, we have x and y, So let's do 11 minus 5 for the change in y, divided by 7 minus 4 over the change in x. 11 minus 5 is 6, 7 minus 4 is 3, and this simplifies to positive 2. So think about this. If our equation, our goal is to get an equation in y equals mx plus b form, so far we have the m. So right now we have y equals 2x plus b. Okay, well, we have to find the y-intercept. So what you can do is just choose one of your 2 points, and I'm going to use the first one. We're going to plug 4 in for x and 5 in for y. Okay, so we're going to put 5 in for y. Say 5 equals 2 times, put 4 in for x, plus b. Okay, so really this is step 2, where we're finding the y-intercept. Okay, now we have 5 equals 8 plus b. Take and subtract 8 from both sides, and we get negative 3 equals b. Right, this leads us to our final step. Write your final equation, putting 2 in for the slope, negative 3 in for the y-intercept, and we'll have our equation in slope-intercept form. So it's y equals 2x minus 3. Now, you can always check your equation by taking and plugging in each of your 2 points and making sure that they work in the equation. For example, if we plug in 5 for y and 4 for x, you'll see that we get 5 equals 8 minus 3. And that's true, 5 is equal to 5. If we test it with the other point, we're putting 11 in for y. So 11 equals 2 times x, well 7 is our x value, minus 3. So 11 equals 14 minus 3, or 11 is equal to 11. And that's a true statement, so therefore y equals 2x minus 3 is definitely the equation of the line that goes to those 2 points. Okay, now there is another method. We're going to again find the slope, which we already did, so we know that the slope between those 2 lines is positive 2. Okay, in this method we're going to be using point-slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so we have our slope that we already solved for, and then we're going to use a point, and I choose to use 4, 5. We're going to plug this in for x1 and y1. So you have y, keep that first y in there, minus y1, which is 5, equals our slope of 2 times x minus 4. Okay, on the right hand side, distribute. We get 2x minus 8, and then take it and add 5 to both sides. And negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. So y equals 2x minus 3. Okay, the result is the same. Okay, in example 2, we have to write an equation of a line passing through the points 5, 8, and 9, 3. So again, our first step is to find the slope. So we want to do m equals y2 minus y1. So I could do 3 minus 8 divided by x2 minus x1, 9 minus 5. 3 minus 8 is negative 5, and 9 minus 5 is 4. So far in our equation, again, our goal is to get our equation in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b form, and so far we know y equals negative 5/4 x plus b. Okay, next we're going to choose a point and plug it in for x and y. So 5 is going to go in for x, 8 goes in for y. So 8 equals negative 5/4 times 5 plus b. 8 equals negative 25/4 plus b. Okay, to solve for the y-intercept, we have to add that 25/4 to both sides. So we have 8 plus 25/4. That's equal to b. Okay, if we take and we're going to add these two together, you could do it in a couple of different ways. So we can rewrite the 25/4 as 6 1/4. This is one possibility. And then you can combine those together and you get 14 1/4 for the value of the y-intercept to be. Okay, final equation, pull in the slope and the y-intercept, we get y equals negative 5/4 times x plus 14 1/4. In our third example, we're asked to write an equation of a line that is parallel to 2x plus 3y equals 11 and passes through the point 9, negative 1. Okay, so again, think of this as we have two clues. We're told that our line is going to be parallel to the given line and it goes to this point. So we're going to call that an x value and a y value. Okay, if the lines are parallel, then they have the same slope. So we need to find the slope of this line. So to do that, take that 2x plus 3y equals 11 and rewrite it in y equals mx plus b form. If we can get y by itself, then the number in front of x will be our slope. Okay, so subtract the 2x from both sides, you get 3y. Sorry about that. You get 3y equals negative 2x plus 11, and then take and divide everything by 3. Okay, so you get y equals negative 2/3 x plus 11/3. So the slope that we want to use is negative 2/3. So let me write that a little bit more neatly. Okay, so we have our slope, we have a point, and we're going to use y equals mx plus b to find our y-intercept. So put negative 1 in for y, put negative 2/3 in for our slope, m, and multiply it by our x value, which is 9. Now negative 2/3 times 9 is going to give us a negative 6. So we have negative 1 equals negative 6 plus b. Take and add 6 to both sides. Add 6 to negative 1, we get 5 equals b. Got our y-intercept, we have our slope. Time to write the final equation. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. And it's definitely parallel to our original line because they have the same slope. On our fourth and final example, we're asked to find the equation of the line that is perpendicular to y equals negative 1/4 x plus 5/6 and passes through the point 2, 7. So this is an x and a y. If the lines are perpendicular, their slopes are negative reciprocals. This line, the original, has a slope equal to negative 1/4. So our new slope has to be the negative reciprocal of this. So the reciprocal of 1/4 would be 4/1, or just 4. And since this slope is negative, our slope must be positive in order to be perpendicular. Okay, we have our slope, we have a point, so let's plug it all into y equals mx plus b, and then we can solve for the y-intercept. So put 7 in for y, 4 in for the slope, put 2 in for x, and solve for b. So 7 equals 8 plus b, or negative 1 equals b. Okay, tie it all together. Take your slope and the y-intercept and write the equation. Y equals 4x minus 1. Final answer. Okay, good luck on the homework.